What's going on, you guys? Welcome to the Kern River Fly Shop podcast and fishing report. What's going on with the Southern Sierra? Well, you're about to find out.
This episode is brought to you by Kern River Fly Shop, the most reliable and accurate fishing report for the Southern Sierra and Kern River Valley area. Now here's your host, Guy Jeans.
Welcome, you guys. Welcome to the Kern River Fly Shop podcast and fishing report. I'm your host, Guy Jeans, and this is a shot of the Upper Kern. And this is just above Corral Creek, and just a beautiful shot looking at the Upper Kern right here. Beautiful stuff. And the river right now, the Upper River's CFS is about 800. 900, somewhere in there, and it's fluctuating in different sections, but still fishable. As you guys can see, it's clear. It's got a little off color to it, but definitely still fishable. Water temperature is 50 degrees. This is right below where I took this water temp right here. And fish are pretty active. There are some fish coming up on the surface late in the evening, which is a lot of fun. So you can get in on that later on in the afternoon. In the meantime, you can nymph and use other kinds of techniques as well. Lots of wildlife out there right now. This is a little baby osprey I got a shot of, which is pretty cool. The cool thing is right now that we're still having some hatches. We're having some March brown hatches going on, which is pretty normal this time of year. Once the water temperature gets about 50 degrees or so, these guys start hatching, and we're kind of at the tail end of these guys, the squallas. Some of the dry flies that you guys want to be using out there in the afternoon. Here's some suggestions for you. Just your everyday parachute Adams will work. Everyday March brown, which is pretty easy to use, and an Adams Wolf is a great fly to use as well. Some nymph suggestions, definitely use the hare's ear, that works great. Tungsten Yellow Sally, which is a great fly to use year round. Waltz Worm, which is a great fly, and the attractor fly, the Slim Shiny with the soft hackle, is another great producer. And right now you can also get them on the zebra midges, different sizes as well. Every day, Monday through Friday, these guys are practicing going through the canyon, and it's pretty amazing to see them flying that low. As you guys can see, the river's flowing pretty good. Like I said, around 800, 900 CFS. And you can get out there. There's areas you can wade. There's some areas that aren't safe to wade, but there's definitely areas that you can fish the edges in the pocket water and have a fantastic time. So something to check out. We are doing some float trips right now. I'm rowing people down the river in certain areas, and that's a great way to experience the upper river for sure. So let's check out some of the techniques that we're using out there. This technique right here, I'm using a indicator with a couple of nymphs below it. And then this is a really important thing to do right here. This is called stack mending. If you notice, I pulled out a bunch of line out of my reel and stacked the line above, and got a really nice drift. And right when I was mending right there, just doing a regular mend, it moved the fly, and it looks like the fish grabbed it right when I moved it. But if you guys can rewind this and look at what I just did there, that stack mending, that's going to get you into some fish, just because your flies get down faster and have a drag-free drift. One of the things that I haven't talked about too much, but if you have a fish and you're fighting it downstream, put your rod tip horizontal when fighting fish, and it's actually easier to bring the fish in instead of leaving your rod tip up real high. So when you're fighting the current, put your rod to the side or your rod tip real close to the water, and that fish will come in real easily. And you'll see how much easier it is. A lot of fish are lost because people keep their rod tips up in that faster water, and the line will break because there's so much pressure going. So you can see right here, got a nice fish on. You can see the water's just a little bit off color, and fighting this fish, good sized fish. And I keep putting my rod tip to the side so I can get that fish in. Super fun time. Great time to be out on the river. And what's crazy is what happens is out there is the river just comes alive this time of year. March, every year just comes alive. Techniques that you can do: shortline nymphing, real short line, have a couple of heavily weighted nymphs on there, cast up in some of these seams, and just kind of drift it through, and you'll pick up fish that way as well. You notice I'm not doing a lot of back and forth casting because I've got multiple flies on, and I'm just doing a short cast and kind of leading my flies downstream. And this is a great technique to use when you're just fishing a short line and you're fishing pocket water. Here's another shot of the same technique, but basically casting straight upstream. And when I'm casting straight upstream, I've got to lift my rod up to bring in the slack, as you guys can see. And then right at the end, you do a little twitch, kind of a little hook set to see if any fish is on there. Another technique you guys should try after your drift, if you're using an indicator, swing your flies and strip them in just a little bit. Fantastic. Here's a shot of the beautiful town of Kernville, where the fly shop is located. If you've never been to Kernville, it's someplace you got to check out sometime. It's a beautiful mountain stream in the southern Sierra. I took another water temperature in the park, right below where we're flying right now. And the water temperature was about the same, 50 degrees, as it was upriver about 10 miles. So the water temperature is remaining about the same. Beautiful lower Kern River, one of my favorite places on earth. I love fishing down here for the smallmouth and largemouth bass, and the water temperature is getting about that time to fish it. Once it goes above 50 degrees down here, you can use game changers like these guys. My favorite color to use down there is the white game changer. But if you can find these areas where the water is a little bit calmer, you can actually find some of these other warm water species. There's the water temperature down there, 56 degrees. And it's an amazing place to go explore. There's a lot of areas that a lot of people don't go to, and if you can find these areas and get down there and have a good time. Lake Isabella. It's getting about that time where we're starting to see the flats fill up, and every year about this time of year they start filling up the lake, and these are the flats. And this is where the carp will go. They'll come in usually about this time through June. You'll start finding carp in this water because they start filling up the lake, and the carp will actually come in. I'm actually seeing carp as I'm filming this right here. Great flies, the Carpalicious, both colors, the chartreuse and the orange, and the Isabella carpworm are great flies to use when these guys are mudding and tailing and eating stuff on the bottom, which is a lot of fun. They also will feed on the surface, so you got to look for that when they're up on the surface klooping, which is a blast to fish. But definitely come up and check out Isabella. This time of year. There's some shots of some of them moving around. They're starting to move in. With this warmer weather that we've been having, they're definitely moving into these shallows, and we'll start seeing them by the thousands. So there you have it, you guys. Lake Isabella, the Lower Kern, and the Upper Kern. I hope you guys enjoyed this podcast fishing report. And I'd love for you guys to subscribe, press that notifications bell if you get a chance. And we'll see you guys next week.